It's Tuesday! It's the Sometimes Daily Show. I'm Philip Edwards.
I'm Michael Palmer, and today we're going to talk about the story coming from VentureBeat's Jeff Grubb and Eurogamer. As you can tell from the title, Microsoft and Bungie have been in talks about a possible acquisition.
This story started when, while on GamesBeat's podcast, Jeff Grubb mentioned that he had heard from his sources that Bungie and Microsoft had been in talks, but had been unable to agree on a sale price.
The story then gained a whole bunch of credibility when Tom Phillips,
That's like my name!
at Eurogamer, reported on the comments, adding that he has also heard from multiple sources that these talks are taking place.
This makes a lot of sense to me. Bungie need a reliable source of cash, so it's understandable they'd be seeking a partner. And Microsoft would gain a huge amount of good PR if they could get Bungie back under the Microsoft banner.
However, there is a twist in this tale. Shortly after the Eurogamer article came out, Bungie responded. A tweet from someone called Nibel said, "Rumour, Microsoft has been in talks to acquire Bungie multiple times, but they fell through each time due to Bungie's high price." End quote. To which CEO of Bungie, Pete Parsons, replied, "This is false."
Bungie later went on to make a more official statement, saying, quote, "All of the information and speculation out there is not true. We're lucky to have a great relationship with many of our friends over there who play Destiny, and Halo will always have a special place in our hearts." End quote. Despite Bungie's attempts to stop the rumours, Eurogamer isn't backing down.
That's right. In an update to the original article, they call into question the vague nature of the denial. They did ask for clarification from Bungie, but have not received any further comment.
With the main story out of the way, now we get to give our thoughts. As I said earlier, this makes a lot of sense to me. Microsoft is in desperate need of some good PR, and acquiring Bungie would do that for them. The only grey area for me is, does it make sense for Bungie? Sure, they need money, but do they need it bad enough to sign with Microsoft? The only way I can see this deal being made is if Bungie had a clause in the deal that they would remain autonomous, and that at most Bungie's games would only be a timed exclusive to Xbox. But then that poses the question, would Microsoft go for that?
I think they would. As you said, Microsoft needs good PR. If they bought Bungie, they could also start saying they've started collaborating with Bungie on Halo Infinite, even if it's not 100% accurate. I think we all understand how good that would be for Xbox's big console seller. As you've previously said, 343 don't know how to make a Halo game. Who does? Bungie. But even with all that, I think people are grasping at straws. I think that denial from Bungie says it all. This is false. As much as I'd love the rumours to be true, imagine Destiny with the backing of current-day consumer-friendly Xbox. They pretty much have a blank cheque and the freedom to make the best game they can.
Here's a really out there conspiracy for you that I in no way actually believe. What if he said it's false because the deal didn't fall through? It's already done, and they're just waiting for the final signing. Huh?
No.
Well, anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Hit that like and subscribe button and tell us in the comments below, what do you think? Does this make sense for either party? Would Bungie give up possible access to all platforms? Would Bungie even want to sign another deal like that? The last partner was Activision, after all. And remember to check back tomorrow for another story, because if you don't, I'm going to sneak into your home and sprinkle crumbs all over your floor so it's uncomfortable to walk on. "But I have shoes and socks," I hear you declare triumphantly. Well, I'm also going to steal all your laces and fill your socks with crumbs. So, see you tomorrow.